Hi everybody, welcome to 5 Minute Ministries. Last week I had mentioned a person I'm going to talk about this week. It's Christmas time, and we spend a lot of time thinking about and hearing about the shepherds, the wise men, the angels, Mary, of course, Jesus even more obviously. But there's one person that always seems to be overlooked, and that's Joseph. See, Joseph has no songs written about him. We don't tell his story. Even the Bible doesn't talk a whole lot about him. There's not a lot of information. If you read Matthew and Luke, you'll find all the information you're going to find on Joseph. That's it. There's not very much at all. We think that's maybe very little. Maybe he's not that important. But even if he is not important to most people, there's a lot Joseph can teach us. I'm going to give you a few of them. If you want to learn more, you read about Joseph himself. But let's talk about Joseph for a minute as the man who was going to be married to Mary. When he found out Mary was pregnant, he had every right by Old Testament law to have her executed. But he didn't do that. He had love for Mary. He had compassion for Mary. He didn't understand what was going on. I'm sure she told him, "This is from God." And most likely he didn't believe her, but he said, "You know what? I'm not going to make a big deal of it. I'm going to break off the engagement, and we're going to just go on with our lives. I'm not going to make a big deal." And that's what he did. He had love and compassion for Mary. So he did it that way. He could have dragged her out and did all the necessary things to have her put to death, but he did not do that because of love and compassion. And when people sin against us, we too need to have love and compassion. Now we find out later that not too much later, that in a dream, he is told, "Do not be afraid to marry Mary, because what is happening of her is of the Lord." So he ends up taking Mary as his wife. We don't not only find Joseph being a man full of love and compassion, we find him being a godly and obedient man. He knew the dream was from God. What else was there? How else do you explain that? So, oh, it was just a dream. No, it was from God himself. It was because the dream said, "This is of the Lord." So he decided, "I'm going to obey God." And he married the woman who was engaged to him. And he decided to raise Jesus as his own. He knew Jesus was not his, but he raised him anyway. Which shows us another thing about Joseph. He was a loving and caring father. He's trying to raise the creator of the universe, the one who knows everything. But Joseph has to go on as if is the father of Jesus. Say, "All right, son, here's how you do this. Here's how you do that. Here's how you treat people. Here's how you..." And Jesus, of course, in his compassion is going, "Yes, Father." He had respect for his parents. And Joseph is teaching him that respect, even though Jesus already knew. It must have been very, very awkward for Joseph. Now, as the time goes on and it's time for Mary to give birth, we find that Joseph is an obedient citizen, because he is on his way to pay his taxes. Now, we don't like to pay taxes, but it's our duty as citizens to render unto Caesar what is Caesar's, so to speak. So he makes a trip with his wife, with his ready to give birth wife, and he gets to Bethlehem, and he finds a place for her, even though there's no room at the inn, and he's with her the entire time. He's not just a good citizen, he's not only a compassionate, loving man, he's not only a good father, he is a good husband. He is by her side the entire time. Joseph is everything God requires in a man. To be a good father, a good husband, a good citizen, and obedient to God. That's what God requires of us. And Joseph is all of that. And we discover that just in that little bit of information that we're given in the Bible. Just because his information is limited doesn't mean he isn't important. So This Christmas, next Christmas, and every Christmas, I just want you to think about Joseph because he teaches us so much. This has been 5 Minute Ministries, and I'll see you next time.